China's desperation, Beijing has cautioned India about interfering in the Maldivian political crisis. In an editorial piece in the Chinese mouthpeice Global Times, China has tried to sermonize India, saying political struggles are supposed to be internal affairs. The Chinese mouthpiece said, and I quote, "Political struggles are supposed to be internal affairs, and New Delhi has no justification to intervene in Malay's affairs. The Maldives' sovereignty should be respected, and the political unrest should be left to the Maldivian people to address." The Chinese mouthpiece also accused India of having a desire to control South Asian countries. India has already cautiously reacted to the developments in Malé and urged all sides to abide by the country's Supreme Court order to release all political prisoners in the spirit of democracy. We are joined by Shidhat Sharif, former Deputy Minister, Ministry of Gender, Family and Human Rights. Amidst the developments in Maldives, now China has openly come out with a statement targeting India over the Maldives crisis. How do you read that statement?
First of all, we saw that the government of Maldives having a very biased alliance with certain countries, including China and some other countries. However, with the recent crisis and with the Supreme Court order came out on the 1st of February, we saw China taking a stand whereby they were the first country who came up with travel ban to the Maldives as well. So that clearly indicates that though the President Yamin has certain allies who he works closely with, but still with these kind of upholding rule of law and the democratic issues, no country in the world actually supports President Yamin on these matters. However, we were very concerned that the foreign policy of the country taking a biased stand in moving forward, having China, making China very close and not considering the peace and security of the Indian Ocean. That's not the policies that the people of the Maldives would like to see the government upholding.
Ms. Sharif, there is a feeling that China is backing Yamin because he has cleared projects pushed by Beijing. Is this a stand the opposition agrees with?
We see China aligning President Yamin on economic matters, and because President Yamin makes piece by piece, he's trying to sell to China and they're making the deals unconstitutionally and unlawfully with the Chinese government. That's a huge concern, and the opposition kept calling and voicing out the issue as well, especially the unlawful FTA agreement passed by the parliament by the members supported to President Yamin.
Also, Ms. Sharif, is the opposition in a position to tackle the crisis on its own, or do you think the time is ripe for India to intervene directly, as has happened in the past?
The opposition do have the majority of the parliament. However, President Yamin is not allowing the parliament process move. He is supposed to be officially opening the the current parliament session the 5th of February. However, he cancelled without giving a valid reason. So the parliament has been paralyzed by the president when the opposition has got the clear majority of the parliament right now. And it is important that countries like India to intervene to the situation, while we saw that the government refused to abide by the ruling of a Supreme Court as well. So we do not have any faith or trust that the government would follow the democratic process, even the parliament process, which we have seen in the past months as well. if that is the case, then the opposition would lose all its way to move forward. So I think this is the high time that countries like India to intervene to the situation of the Maldives.
Ms. Sharif, India is reluctant to send in forces, but reports say it may go in for economic measures. But with China backing Yemen, will such steps have any effect?
Calling for the intervention doesn't mean that we actually require the military intervention as per se. However, we have to make moves which will force President Yemen to listen to whatever, listen and then uphold the rule of law.